Hi, this is Jason from Horrific Nightmares, and welcome back to the Fangoria Movie Challenge. Now, this is the segment I've been doing with my good buddy Joe the Horror Man, where we're not only going to watch, but also review all 101 movies Fangoria thinks we should have seen. Today, we're going to be talking about one of my favorites, Pin, a Plastic Nightmare. Pin is a 1988 film which runs approximately 103 minutes and is written and directed by Sandor Stern. He was responsible for, actually has 32 movies to his credit, but they're mostly TV movies, including Amityville 4, The Evil Escapes, which I absolutely love. For being a television movie, I thought it was really good. Now this stars David Hewlett as Leon. He was in The Shape of Water, Rise of the Planet of the Apes, and Cube. Cynthia Preston as Ursula. She was in the remake of Carrie, Mute, and Jack Ryan. And Terry O'Quinn as Dr. Linden. He was in The Stepfather, The Rocketeer, and Young Guns. Now, they're watching a film, Leon and Marcia on a date. They're watching a film in this movie, and the film happens to be Scanners. How that applies is David Hewlett actually starred in Scanners 2, which kind of like 6 degrees of, yeah. Okay. Pin is, in my opinion, one of the most underrated on this list. This is a very complex movie, and it's very intelligently written, in my opinion. We have 2 young kids, Leon and Ursula. They live with their mother and father. Their father is, of course, played by Terry O'Quinn. I believe he's a pediatrician. I've seen this movie I don't know how many times, and for some reason, I'm not sure if he's actually a pediatrician or just a general medicine doctor. But we'll say he's a pediatrician. So sometimes the kids go with him to where he works, since he has a practice outside of the house. And in a way of breaking the ice and getting to know the children and making them more comfortable, he has a full-size dummy that's like a learning dummy with the muscles and all that kind of stuff. It's like a clear see-through dummy with all of that stuff. Now, Ursula named it Pinocchio, and they call it Pin for short. Now, as I said, Terry O'Quinn plays the doctor, and in order to break the ice and to get to make the children more comfortable, he actually does ventriloquism and makes Pin talk in order to teach the kids stuff. And that's kind of important because he also uses Pin to teach his children about life, about their bodies, and eventually about sex, since he is a fully life-size dummy with all the parts. When he's in the office, they keep a towel over his lap, of course, so that the kids don't giggle and act immature. But Leon is trying to talk to Pin, and there are certain rules, like Pin will not talk to them if the doctor's not around. Of course, Leon is obsessed with Pin. He wants to talk to Pin, he wants to get to know him, he wants him to explain life to him, but Pin won't talk to him because the doctor's not around. In his office one day, Leon sneaks and sees something that pretty much breaks him. And I'm not going to tell you what that is, but it's very disturbing. It's one of the few, there's quite a few disturbing things in this movie. So now they're older, and he's still obsessed with Pin. Ursula is more or less a normal young woman, but Leon is a little too obsessed with Pin. Now it takes place, let's see, there's like 3 time changes. There's when they were little kids, probably around 7 or 8. Then when they're about 11 or 12, and now when they're 18. And Leon has gained a new talent in order to talk to Penn. And anyone who doesn't treat Leon right has to deal with Penn. And I'm going to leave it there. This movie is brilliant. It's so intelligently written. There are a lot of uncomfortable things in it. It's not really a slasher, although... Nah, it's not really a slasher. It's more of a psychological horror movie. And to no one's surprise, I'm actually going to pair this with magic. I will take any chance I can to promote this movie because it's one of my favorites of all time. This almost has the same exact story for the most part. The situations are different. The characters are older or younger, but it pretty much has the same exact story. And this is one of my favorite movies of all time. This is also one of my favorite movies of all time. Go figure. Just a short little story about how I was introduced to this movie. I used to rent movies from this place called Cranbrook Video that was down the street from where I lived. And I rented Pin, not knowing what to expect, never heard of it, never seen the cover before, like I had in most, because I used to spend a lot of time in the horror section in all the video stores I used to rent from. This movie blew me away. And it was a cut box. And every once in a while, they would put some movies on sale, and they had a certain, like a special section for that. And I remember I always looked there every time I rented movies, and they finally put Pin on the sale rack in a special section, and I grabbed it. I wish I still had it, but I sold all my VHS because I'm not that smart. So, yeah, I wish I still had it. It was a really, really cool movie. I do have the DVD now, which is fine. We desperately need a Blu-ray of this, especially since most of the people are still alive, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, I did get rid of this, and it's actually quite expensive now to get a VHS copy of that film. So yeah, like I said, not that smart. But anyway, don't forget to check out Joe's review of Pin, see what he recommends, and if you like what you see in here, hit that like button and subscribe. And until next time, peace.